Alright, and away from the country, now even as US President Joe Biden will make a high-stakes visit to Israel on Wednesday as Israeli forces prepare to escalate an offensive against Hamas, who hinted on Monday it may try to use people kidnapped during its October 7th attack to ensure the release of Palestinians jailed in Israel. Protests went on in front of White House where people called for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. President Joe Biden is said to visit Israel on Wednesday, the Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said. Antony Blinken said, and I quote, "He's coming here at a critical moment for Israel and for the region and for the world," unquote.
He's coming here at a critical moment for Israel, for the region and for the world.
Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office appeared to deny reports of a humanitarian corridor that would allow the passage of foreign nationals out of the Gaza Strip via Egypt's Rafah crossing. Some 600 American passport holders, as well as an unconfirmed number of other foreign nationals, are stuck in the blockaded enclave as it endures fierce Israel bombardment. Netanyahu's office said in a Google translated statement that, and I quote, "There is currently no ceasefire and humanitarian aid in the Gaza Strip in exchange for the expulsion of foreigners," unquote.
Rafah will be open.
My daughter saw people die, saw children die. We've been sleeping here at the crossing point. There's shelling from every side and every corner.
The Israeli government has not taken a decision that leads to the possibility of opening the Rafah border crossing from Gaza's side.
Biden warned that an Israeli reoccupation of Gaza would be a mistake in an interview with CBS 60 Minutes. He also said that the Palestinian militant group Hamas should be eliminated entirely, but that there must be a path to a Palestinian state. The White House has so far fully supported what it says is Israel's right to defend itself.
We didn't want this war. It was forced upon us in the most brutal and savage way. But though Israel didn't start this war, Israel will finish it.
President Biden will again make clear, as he's done unequivocally since Hamas's slaughter of more than 1,400 people, including at least 30 Americans, that Israel has the right and indeed the duty to defend its people from Hamas and other terrorists and to prevent future attacks. The President will hear from Israel what it needs to defend its people as we continue to work with Congress to meet those needs.
Israel is on its 10th day of an aerial bombardment campaign of the Gaza Strip, over which it has ordered a total siege, cutting of water, food and security supplies to a population of 2 million people. The White House has so far fully supported what it says is Israel's right to defend itself. Israel is on its 10th day of an aerial bombardment campaign of the Gaza Strip, over which it has ordered a total siege, cutting off water, food and electricity supplies to a population of 2 million people. The siege, which has been criticized by human rights groups for breaking humanitarian law, comes in response to a brutal terrorist attack by Hamas on October 7th. The death toll from the conflict so far has risen to at least 1,400 people killed in Israel and nearly 3,000 people killed in Gaza. Amid ongoing conflict, the presidents of Russia and Syria have urged an end to hostilities. The UN Palestinian Refugee Agency UNRWA said its aid workers will no longer be able to continue humanitarian operations in the Gaza Strip unless new supplies are allowed into the enclave. Israel's military continued to urge residents to move from the north and Gaza to the south as it pledged to counter Hamas with, quote, an even greater force, unquote. The evacuation orders have been criticized by many humanitarian agencies.
This is made in Iran, no doubt about it. We knew they have those, we knew they have mortars, but these Iranian mortars, this is the first time that we see it on this battle.
Every Arab leader who met U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in the last few days highlighted the importance of dealing with the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, a senior State Department official told the media. The official said President Joe Biden told Blinken to return to Tel Aviv in Israel following his whirlwind trip through the 6 Arab countries, namely Jordan, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. After 9 hours of negotiations with Israel, Blinken announced that both sides, quote, agreed to develop a plan that will enable humanitarian aid from donor nations and multilateral organizations to reach civilians in Gaza and them alone, unquote. The new U.S. envoy for Middle East humanitarian issues, David Satterfield, is set to meet Israeli officials on Tuesday to see if they can get the plan worked out. The official added, for Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Bushabe Jr.